We're watching DipSip499. Says, my aim could use some work, but I think that comes with time mostly. My biggest issues, I think, are the decision to remain in chat, because they're all a bunch of plebs, and I hate every single one of them. All they do is spam iddqd. But back to the game, any types of positioning tips would be great. Okay. Now I'm gonna eat a cookie, and I'm not gonna share. Fuck all of you.
That had some style.
Okay.
Be resplendent. Objective unlocked. The breeze brings relief.
Returning to our push is under.
Oh, hold on. This cookie is really good. I have feedback. About to finish my cookie. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Oh, that's good. That is a good cookie. Holy shit, dude. Wow. If you could taste what I was tasting in Snapchat, you'd understand. This is some premium cookies. God damn. Anyways, 2 things. DipSip. Listen, man. I don't know who you are in chat right now, but I can tell you already that you need to alternate between your stupid fucking broken ass hunchback stupid fucking kunais and your healing, right? Another thing is, if a target is full HP, we don't necessarily want to Susu that early, because the higher rank that you climb to, the more often will a player realize what's going on, and they will punish you for it, right? So when it comes to it, right, what we need to do here is that you need to sort of like have almost like a rotation in your head, and that's completely fine when you play Kiriko, by the way. You can kunai twice, heal once, or you can heal twice, right, and kunai once. Right now, all I see is basically damage. And I mean, look what happened. You basically 5v4'd the fight before it even kind of started, because you start throwing random kunais out in the air, and eventually you kill their Kiriko, right? So the rotation is important for many reasons, right? But when it comes to it right now, I feel like right now you're kind of like focusing on healing only, but I'd like to see a little bit more alternating, right? Try and remember that rotation. Another thing I want to point out is we also Susu'd a target that was pretty much really healthy. Try and hold on to it a little bit longer than that. I know that a lot of the time you kind of want to get it out and be like, oh, phew, I saved someone with it, but try and hold on to it a little bit more. The higher rank that you climb up to, more often than not, by using your cooldowns prematurely like this, you're going to get punished for it. And I'm sure Deku in chat understands exactly what I'm saying. I mean, I can ask her, Deku, listen, if you're playing Widow on this map, you have sightlines, you see the Kiriko use her Susu, boom, you know it's fucking reaping time. It's time to pop heads and chew bubblegum, and you're all the gum. So using it prematurely is not always the best idea. So try and keep it as long as you can. Not like hold it forever, but be a little bit smarter when you use it.
Draw strength from nature.
Spotted an enemy.
Continue our advance.
Over here.
You're all good.
Okay, that's a nice Susu. That was nice. One thing, we went here on the left side in the middle of these pillars. Be a little bit less like tunnel vision-y. Try and be a little bit better about how you position yourself when you do these things. I know that you're kind of panicking and you wanted to keep your cult alive. I understand. However, during this entire venture back and forth, not once did you crouch spam. Instead, you got hit once and you started jumping. I can tell you right now, if that's me up there, you would have died 3 times over, right? If you jump like this in a straight line, we don't want to jump. Right? We never want to jump. Instead, get into the habit of abusing this stupid fucking character's hitbox, right? She has the smallest hitbox in the entire game. And by jumping forward, you're essentially making it easy for any hit scan character in the game to kill you. And for sometimes, even projectile, right? So abuse the fact that she's extremely overpowered and she has an extremely small hitbox, and crouch spam over here instead. You can achieve the same result that you did, but you do it a little bit safer, right? So we never ever want to jump when a DPS like Sojourn or a DPS like Ashe is present, right? So I kind of just want to point it out.
Okay, other direction.
That's just because you want to see the world burn, Deku. That's why.
Returning TS1 to the barricade.
Silly human.
Silly human?
What's up?
I'm sorry, what? Isn't Kiriko a human, or am I misunderstanding something?
Let the Kitsune guide you.
Alright. Chat. Trivia. What went wrong here? What went wrong here? I'm gonna allow you to point out the flaw before I do it myself. What went wrong here? What did we not do properly? Yes, if you're mentioning the ultimate positioning, you're completely right. So, if you throw your ultimate into something like the robot's butt crack right here, or if you even throw it into the bus, you will effectively break your fox's neck, and that's okay. We hate the fox, so it's good. If you actually wanted to murder the fox for the sake of being a better viewer in my stream, I appreciate you. However, for the sake of trying to win the game, what you could have done instead is that you and your team will achieve the same benefit if you actually move it a little bit left of the big robot instead, right? So if you were to ult here instead, it would go all the way instead of getting stuck, right? So if you look here, you kind of see that it kind of stops here because it kind of clips it a little bit weirdly. If you were to use it like this instead, it would go all the way, and your team could actually make use of the ultimate a little bit better, right? By throwing it into the wall like this, your team isn't really utilizing all of it. And what is the response that the enemy team will give you if you use a Kiriko ult? They back off, right? I mean, chat, we agree on this, right? Nodders, they back off. So we want to try and maximize how far our ultimate can go, so we can utilize that as they're trying to move backwards, right? By cutting it short like this, essentially, you're giving them an opportunity to back off, and your team cannot utilize your entire ultimate. Does that make sense? So instead of trying to throw it right like this, you could have opted in to throw it this way instead, and since it's so wide, because your fox is fucking chunky, your team could have utilized that and chased the entire way through. But now, we only have this small little effect here, and it's effectively not going to do a whole lot. All the enemy team needs to do now is back off a little bit, wait it out, and then re-engage. And you don't know. The enemy Kiriko might have an ultimate, and now you are effectively, you know, in a bad position. So I just want to point that out, that it's very important where you aim your ultimate. And in this way, listen, I fucking love you for breaking your fox neck. Fuck Kiriko, fuck the fox, fuck everything. But this was not good for a team fight perspective.
Restoring valor started. Let's go.
Good attempt to get a kill in.
Time for the reckoning.
Susie yourself. Okay, even better. Even better. Not bad, not bad.
Thought they were dead, but I guess not.
If you keep talking, you are gonna be dead. Okay, got the headshot off that. Up. I see the ads. Chat, I see the ads. Don't worry. I see them. We're gonna wait for them. All right. Someone in chat, just let them know. They don't have to panic. We're gonna wait for them. Actually, you're right. You have the best bangers. Fucking damn right I do, motherfucker. It's that simple. Anyways, let's go back to what we're talking about. Fuck Kiriko.
A new dawn for you. Do something. This ends now.
Oh, watch out. Okay, good teleport. Good priority there. I mean, you understand that if you tank dice here, you're in trouble. A little bit unlucky with the Susu. I'm not gonna give you shit for that though. I mean, I saw what you try to do. It's not exactly personal.
Let me balance you out.
Your head's in the clouds, but your grave's down here. It's not exactly personal. Sorry, Chad. I had an urge. I had to do it. Why are you blushing? I sound nothing like him. Relax.
Careful, we're outnumbered.
Oh. Well, your team was pretty much dead here. There's not really much you can do. I think it was the correct play to essentially stand behind Bob the bot, right? And just kind of like
Time to try again.
push as far as you could. So that's fine. Nothing you could have done differently.
Group up with me.
Well, group up with me.
Forward squad.
If I was in the other room, I think it was Cassidy. I don't know. Chat's a little bit. Oh my goodness. Ay 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 that we don't do that. We don't do that at all. Okay, listen. Nah. We were out of position. Okay, that was our fault. We were in a location where we could have been in a much better position than we were. We started that fight a little bit of an off angle, and I don't necessarily mind the off angle, all right? Don't get me wrong. I don't mind that if you play Kiriko and you play something like this and you like, you know, you hug the wall and you throw kunais down mid-range and you try and get a kill, I'm fine with that. But that's not really what happened here. Instead, what it felt like is that you kind of got caught off guard. They rushed you, and we need to be a little bit more precise where we can see, because like you had the teleport, right? And you need to realize that they're coming at you, right? And if they're coming at you, you kind of have to teleport away and get out of dodge, right? And we kind of panicked, and when we panic, we have to be a little bit
Hello chat, I need you, I'm searching for the song of iddqd's songs. In the refrain is something like, there is a whole new world. The song is a little bit faster. 3 thanks in advance. 3.
It sounds something like there is a whole new world. Could it be the Disney song? Maybe it's the Disney song. Maybe it's the Disney song? I don't know. Could it be? Or no? Does anyone in chat knows? A whole new world. I'm trying to think. Dude, can we fucking deal with that after the VOD, dude? I'm trying to do my fucking job, dude. Calm the fuck down. Chat, give him some colon threes. Tell him to calm the fuck down. You will never stop being a jukebox. Oh, trust me. Trust me. There's a limit to how much I can handle. There's... That looks a lot bigger than I remember. That looks a lot bigger than I remember. Damn. Okay. Oh, fair enough, I guess. Yeah, so in the offset that we kind of get off, you know, we kind of need to have an escape plan. And this is something that we talked about previously before, right? A lot of players at a higher rank will always like take a peek or be in a certain location, but they will always have like an idea of how they want to get out, right? And it felt to me here that you kind of got caught off guard. We didn't really have a plan. We were kind of shooting some kunais into the wind, and then all of a sudden, before you know it, they're all on you. And then we susu into a corner, we get stuck, there's a May wall, boom, we're dead. But then we also opt in to use our ultimate. Now, I understand why you did it, but it's way better to take the loss, die, and then come back and then engage with the Kiriko ult if you so have to, right? I mean, look at the fucking timing, look at the clock, look at the distance. We got 6 minutes on the clock. You are at 91 meters, they're at 12:55. Even if you die here and you come back, you will have all the time in the world to make a better play than to just throw your ultimate on the wind, right? Effectively, we sort of just threw it out, and I don't think your team's going to be able to use it either. So, and that's the thing, right? Like, the ultimate served zero purpose. If anything, if you want to like panic ult here, you throw your fucking fox and you break its neck like further down range, right? Not here, but you go here instead. But that being said, I'm not going to bank on you for too much here, but when it comes to it, kind of just want to point that out. We kind of got caught our position there. That was our positional mistake, and we could have played that a little bit better. Also, Frenzy, we'll try and get to the bottom of the song after this game, yeah?
Time to come out of my cave.
Time to come out of my cave. What are you on about?
Time to push. We're outnumbered. Stay sharp.
What cave?
Purified.
I'm just trying to understand the voice lines, chat. Calm down. I don't understand. What kind of cave? Watch out. Okay, decent Susu. If you need to, you can always teleport top left now. Okay. Nice attempt on Susu. You could have gone twice there. If you were a little bit earlier, you would have ended up getting a double there and probably saved one of them, but it was okay. You won the fight. I saw what you're trying to do. It was the right play.
Thank you kindly. Enemy spotted.
Cat CD, take your common sense out of my chat. Take your fucking common sense out of my chat, or I'm gonna end up being ragey. Oh, careful, careful. Okay, we are out of position again. Shouldn't show up there.
Enemy has taken the robot.
It's okay. Yeah, you can push the robot. It's all fine. Okay, now we have ult again. A great way to start this fight is by initiating the ult first.
Thanks.
For sure. Like right now. Right now. Oh.
Let the kitsune guide you.
Okay, that was a little bit later than I wanted you to, but the concept remains the same. So we can avoid. So one thing I'm seeing, and this is a common occurrence that keeps happening in this VoD, right? Is that we're seemingly kind of always out of position, right? Ultimate timing here was okay. I'm not going to complain about it. Could have been a little bit faster, but it was okay. We had the same mindset. We keep getting caught in these situations where it's like, you have to understand that Kiriko doesn't need to be up close and personal to do damage, right? She literally is a widow, right? And when I say that, is that you can play all the way fucking back here if you fucking need to, or you can play all the way back where you start your ultimate so you can benefit from the ultimate if you have to. But like walking over here, if you really want to take this angle, we play walls, right? We play walls. We have to, right? Otherwise, things like this will constantly happening. Like you staying alive here is extremely important because we're at the end game. We're literally on the verge of pushing this robot in, and the best you can do is stay alive, right? Even if you're not utilizing your ultimate here, I don't care. You staying alive here is one of the most important things. And by like walking down and kind of like taking it slow and going over here and kind of like being exposed over this entire area, and then also a Reaper behind you, I don't like you walking down here. Instead, play it safe. Play it around the wall. Play around like objects and stuff. And then on top of that, you can literally jump up here and then you have full vision of your entire team and what they're doing, and they still can't hurt you, right? Like you have wall climb, so we can abuse it. You know what I'm saying? And right now, I feel like we barely wall climb, and when we do, we're kind of doing it very aggressively, so we're kind of like jumping into the enemy team. But positioning is everything. If you're a support player, half of your entire knowledge of the game should be positioning. And you walking down here is just asking to get fucking murdered. So if you want to try and do this a little bit better, I like the ultimate. I like the fact that you're taking a little bit more of an aggressive position, but for the love of God, play around the corner. We play around corners so we can avoid all this damage. And if you want to do damage, you can like boop, 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 you know what I'm saying? So try and do that instead. It's unfortunate that we die here, but we could have prevented that with slightly better positioning. Does that make sense, chat?
Pushing on barricade up. Careful!
Time to get clever. I'm with you. Come on, cutie. You're ours now. Wait till you see me on my bike.
Oh.
Group up with me.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks. Thank you.
You seem familiar. Ain't I killed you before?
Carried on the wind. Disrupting.
You gotta pay attention to your positioning right now? Okay.
Prayers are answered. I've got you.
Not bad. Ooh. Could have been a little bit faster with the Susu there, but that's okay. So in these situations, if your tank dies, the fight is effectively over, right? Tanks play such a huge role when it comes to push game modes, right? The snowball effect of this game mode is ridiculous, right? But it can only be done if you have a tank. If you don't have a tank, you're dead, right? So it's extremely important that you try and focus on the tank staying alive here, especially when it comes to a push game mode. It's all about keeping the tank alive. Losing a DPS, you can still somehow win the fight, right? But losing a tank, effectively the fight's over, right? So while I do appreciate that you're trying to keep the Cole alive, unfortunately, that's going to have to come at the price of your other support. You being the closest to Orisa and having Susu off cooldown like this, your main priority should always be keeping your tank alive. Your tank dies, fight is over, and they're going to snowball, right? So I kind of just want to point that out. While I do appreciate you doing this, it should have been more focused on the Orisa.
On your horizon. The sunlight soothes. The goddess is here.
Worked out regardless.
Let me balance you out.
Oh, you're pinging as well. Okay. The other Cassidy's popping.
Over here.
Is that Reaper trying to be sneaky or something? What's going on here?
Holding my ground.
I like the Reaper's name. Pray and spray. I like that.
Your day just got made.
I kind of like that. Fucking Giga Chad Reaper player, dude.
They took the robot.
Restoring
Don't let it
balance.
move a single step.
Wait. What is this DM? Hold on, chat. Give me 2 seconds. What is this? Oh, for fuck's sake, another person asking for a song. I can't.
I've got you. Let the Colosseo guide you.
Where there's smoke,
You take a lot of damage, huh?
how you They took the robot. Don't let it move a single step.
Your Orisa's very good too. A little bit of a random Susu there.
I'm grateful.
Okay, good Susu again.
That was a close one.
Okay. Understood. Yo, what's up, Doctor? Thanks so much for the 100 bitties. Appreciate you. Okay. So we talked about the ultimate positioning. Extremely important. It also felt to me like you don't really have a game plan with the ultimate. Let's be honest, right? Let's be completely honest here. I'm not bashing you. I'm just saying that we do not have a plan with the ultimate at all. Instead, what I want you to start doing is that if you have ultimate, you should start figuring out kind of where you want to use it, right? If you can, engaging with the Kiriko ult is one of the most strongest things in the entire game, right? It's very evident to me is that whenever you end up in a high-pressured situation and you have ult, you'll kind of throw it out and hope for the best. But the reality of the situation is if you have a game plan of what you want to do with it and you kind of set it up properly, you'll get a ton more value from it, and your team will also get a lot more value from it as well. We kind of threw 2 ultimates on the wind. One of them was completely wasted. The other one ended up getting some form of value, but the point still stands, right? That if you have a game plan of what you want to do with it, it's going to be a lot better. So try and figure that out. If you die and have ult, try and figure out kind of how you want to use it. If you want to use it as an engagement or if you want to use it more as a defensive ultimate, it's entirely up to you. But don't end up in a situation where you have no idea what to do and you kind of just throwing it out for the sake of throwing it out. Try and keep that in mind. Another thing I want you to work on a little bit more is that there is a pretty decent rotation with Kiriko that usually yields a lot of results, and it usually goes down like this. Either you send 2 sets of papers downrange and then a kunai, or you send 2 kunais downrange and 1 set of healing, right? And for what it's worth, I feel like we're not really doing either, but I think that with your aim, you can get away with a lot more damage and a lot more kills and a lot more offset kills, like when they least expect it to happen. You have decent enough aim where I feel like you can actually utilize, like you do 2 kunais and then heal, 2 kunais heal, 2 kunais heal kind of thing. You understand what I'm saying? Like kind of like a rotation. Try and implement that into your game style a little bit more, because if you have aim, which I think that you do, I think that you'd be surprised how much more utility you get from that. Also, healing priority. I understand that your Cole was popping the fuck off, but the reality of the situation is you're not always going to have a DPS that is just, you know, cleaning house every single fight. It's not going to happen. And I do think that priority healing should always be your tank. If your tank dips down to low and you have a low DPS alongside you, I think that the majority focus should always be spent on your tank. The reason for this is because I feel like, for me personally, if my tank dies in a 5v5 situation, chances of us winning that fight goes down drastically if our tank dies. If one of our DPS dies and our tank is still alive, we still run in, you know, the offset chance that we might actually win that fight, right? So for me personally, try and keep your tank alive more often. They are the priority, and when your tank is healthy, you can move on to the next target. There are 2 healers in the team for a reason, and if you can solo keep your tank alive, you're most likely gonna, you know, win and exhaust the enemy team and make them use cooldowns when they don't want to. That's another thing I want to focus on. When it comes to your teleports, I feel like they're pretty decent. I literally have no quarrel with how you do your teleports. There was one that got stuck in the wall, but hey, everyone gets unlucky every once in a while, right? As for your Suzu usage, felt pretty good. Wasn't bad at all. But yeah, no, overall, then I think that's more than enough for you to really think about, because right now, you're in a position where I think that you're a pretty good support player. It's just that you need to really hammer these small tips down and like make use of them. I would love to see a couple weeks from now on when you kind of integrate this into your game style and gameplay and see how you actually turn out. But for now, there's a lot more I can say. But the reality of the situation is I don't want to give you too much. And I feel like this is more than enough for you to think about and work on. And then, you know, we'll take it when we get to the next VoD sort of thing. But yeah, I think that was pretty fucking solid, man. Thank you so much for providing the VoD for us to actually take a look at and for me to coach you on. And yeah,